So today I'm traveling from Paramaribo to Guyana, from Suriname to Guyana. According to the place where I was staying in Paramaribo, it said there was a bus at 11 from Paramaribo to Nickerie, where I'm staying overnight before getting the ferry to Guyana. And I've turned up at the bus station here, and there's no bus at 11, and the next bus at 1 is full, and he said the next bus after that is 3 p.m. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. Maybe just sit here and wait. I'll maybe see if I can get on the 1 o'clock one, even though he said it was full. But yeah, not an ideal start to the day. Sorry, zou je geen 1 uur bus naar Nickerie? Nee. Weet je waarom?
Omdat de bus is
Oké. En die om 3 uur, weet je?
Ik heb die bus van 3 uur. 3 uur weet ik niet zeker. Ik denk niet dat die rijdt. Ik al een aantal dagen niet gereden.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So apparently the 1 o'clock in the afternoon bus is cancelled, and she said the 3 o'clock might run, but I spoke to a couple of locals initially and they said it's not running either, so I'm going to have to try and find somewhere else to stay in Suriname for the night and then leave tomorrow morning to Nickerie. Hallo. De bus naar Nickerie, zijn allemaal gaan? Oké. Oh, sorry. Sorry, ik... Oh, het komt eraan vandaan. Sorry, even lang. Ik begrijp niet. Ik kan niet zo goed de accent begrijpen. Sorry. Oh, het komt wel vandaan. Oh. Ja, oké. En is dat om 3 uur normaal? Of? Oké, naar Nickerie, ja? Oké, dank u wel, hè. So I was about to leave and try and find my accommodation or a new accommodation for tonight, and then I thought I'd just quickly ask, just double check that the buses were cancelled to Nickerie today, and the guy behind the desk said, just wait there, I think there's going to be one coming soon, so I'm going to wait around now. I don't know where it is, but I'll find out. Sorry, mag ik u vragen waar deze bus gaat naartoe? Ja, zo. Oké. Weet je waar de bus naar Nickerie is? Die om 1 uur was geannuleerd, maar ik weet niet waar ze... Moet ik normaal hier wachten voor de bus naar Nickerie? Ja. Oké, daar binnen. Oké, dankjewel. I've been waiting here about 45 minutes since I was told the bus is still coming. I did just quickly check that this was the right place to wait. And the gesture I was given was calma, calm down. Nickerie, hoor? Ja. Oké, dank u wel. En ik wil hier op het touw. Ja. Oké, dank u wel.
Kom met een tas nog.
Sorry.
Ja, ako.
Ik neem niet zoveel plekken.
Ten presingo demotek yung dito.
Dank u wel. So I'm now on the bus to Nickerie. We've just taken the first break after about half an hour. We had the first break. So luckily I waited from about 11 till 2:30. It did turn up at 2:30 around in the end. It cost 100 Surinamese dollars, which is about £2 to £3 or dollars. And it takes about 4 hours, and then they stop quite a few times on the way, so it could take maybe about 5. But yeah, good news. Dus ik zit nu op de bus naar Nickerie. We zijn nu net buiten Paramaribo gegaan, in Salamanca denk ik ergens. Het kostte 100 Surinamese dollars, dat is ongeveer 2 of 3 euro. En dat duurt ongeveer 4 uur naar Nickerie. We gaan stoppen een paar keer op de weg, dus dat duurt misschien 5 uur. En er zijn best wel nette mensen hier, dus ja, gelukkig zit ik nu op de bus. Want ik heb 4,5 uur gewacht, of 3,5 bij de bushalte. And if you're at the bus stop, then you just need to wait for someone to shout, because if you're not in the waiting room, then you might not be aware that the bus has actually arrived. So luckily I was there when he called the bus out. Dus als je daar wacht bij de bushalte, je moet in de wachtkamer wachten. Anders kun je niet zeker weten dat de bus daar is. Want hij schreeuwt Nickerie. En dan dan weet je waar de bus is. Dus als je dat niet hoort, dan weet je niet zeker waar de bus is. Is het voor de bussen? Kan ik wat vragen hier over de bussen? Ja. Morgenochtend wil ik met de ferry. Half zes bussen gaat het worden. En dan ben ik op tijd ook voor de bal? Ja. Oké. Hartstikke bedankt hè. Ja. Fijne avond.
Iedereen kan daar uitstappen.
Alright, 5 hours later, I am in Nickerie, and it's lively here. I haven't been into the whole of Paramaribo yet, but Nickerie is more lively than Paramaribo has been since I arrived there. Ik ben nu in Nickerie. Het is druk hier, veel te zien. Ik ga even rondlopen. Er is een soort kerstmarkt of zoiets. I just asked about the bus tomorrow morning to the ferry, because I was debating whether to get a taxi or not, even though I hadn't booked one and I don't know how to get one. He said here the bus is at 5:30, half zes in Nederland. Hij zegt dat de bus om 6:30 is naar de ferry naar Guyana morgenochtend, dus dat is goed. Dus ik kon gewoon hier lopen. Ik blijf niet zo ver van. I'm not staying too far from here. So hopefully that works out okay. We'll find out in the morning.
Goedenavond.
Goedenavond. Appetit?
How are you?
Ik ben oké.
Jawel. Waarom want je kijkt hele goed?
Ik snap het niet hoor.
Kom. Moet. Ga weg. Mama, ik denk wel.
Ja, kom weer. Dankjewel. Moet ik uitkijken voor hem? Oh, oké. Ik ga even eerst.
Hij loopt op mensen af zo en dan vraagt hij een paar dingen.
Oké.
En dan zeggen mensen van, dit is het.
Ja, oké. Dankjewel.
Er was een toerist ook eerst gedaan. Die man was bezig.
Ja. Oké.
Er was van Zwitserland. Hij was Zwitserland. Hij zat daar en die iemand ging af op hem toen hij was gesproken. Hij stond op en hij achtergaan zo. Je hebt ook gezien, je bent gesproken dan.
Ja.
Die man is zelf, hij is een beetje gesproken. Hij loopt op je alsof hij iets wil pakken.
Ja, want hij heeft mijn zak gepakt.
Ja. Dat iedereen het weet.
Ja.
Zo wat jij bent.
Ook omdat ik een beetje zo uitzie.
Ja, hij weet dat hij niet van je Zo wandeling?
Ja, ik blijf hier 2 nachten. Morgen ga ik naar Guyana.
Oh, Guyana.
Maar
Weer is een stress. Die verbinding.
Oh, hè?
Boot en zo.
Ja. Lange douane en dat soort dingen?
Het duurt te lang.
Oh, oké.
We zijn geweest, het duurt te lang.
Oké.
Ja, maar hoe met wat ben
Nee, met de bus. Ik ben hier met de bus gekomen. Met de bus van Paramaribo.
Ja.
En morgen, ik denk dat ik neem de bus daar van 5:30 naar de boot. En dan ga ik ga niet ver in Guyana, alleen bij Paramaribo en Skelton.
Oh ja. Dus ik had een beetje ontstaan geweest.
Oh, oké. Ja. Maar de bus van Paramaribo vandaag was geannuleerd. Dus ik moest ongeveer 5 uur wachten. Want ik zou hier om 3 uur of 2 uur 's middag. Ging niet. Alles was geannuleerd. Maar ik ben er nu aan de lucht.
Als je daar vroeg gaat, laat ik zeggen, 3 uur zo.
Ja.
Ja, 12 uur.
Oh, hè?
That's it.
Okay, so I'm in my apartment now. Ben nu in een appartement. En de eigenaar had gebeld, gewoon om te vragen of alles goed ging. Ik heb gevraagd of ik euro's kon betalen. I asked if I could buy in euros. The owner called to see if everything was okay. And he mentioned about the taxi tomorrow. I think it's $10 US for about just under an hour journey, I think. And obviously I mentioned to him about the people at the bus station saying there's a bus at 5:30 tomorrow. The owner said he was sure that there is no bus to the ferry. De eigenaar zei dat hij zeker was dat er geen publieke bus is naar de ferry, public bus. So I said to him, well, do you mind if I try tomorrow morning to go to the bus station at 5:30, and if there isn't one there, come back and let you know to go ahead with the taxi. Ik heb gevraagd of ik morgenochtend naar de publieke bus kan gaan. En als er geen publieke bus is naar de ferry, dan kom ik terug en ga ik een bericht sturen om de taxi te bellen. En hij zei dat dat goed was. He said it was okay. So it's going to be an early morning for me tomorrow. Dus morgenochtend moet ik vroeg opstaan. And yeah, dus ik ga zo naar bed. So I'm going to bed soon because it's quite late now. There are quite a few mosquitoes in here, so I've had to wedge my single net over the double bed and wedge it up with my rucksack and another cushion as well to try and give myself as much area as possible to sort of sleep in reasonably comfortably. Is er hier een bus van hier naar de ferry, naar South Train?
Nee, ferry is er niet.
Oh, geen bus.
Nee, jij wel de taxi.
Oh, ik moet een taxi nemen.
Ja,
Oké.
een paar taxis in daar, denk ik.
Oké. En weet je hoe laat ik moet bij de haven zijn, bij de ferry?
De ferry?
Ongeveer.
Ik denk 10 uur, 11 uur zo.
Oké, dankjewel.
Straks komt een taxi, dan vraag je wel, hè?
Ja, ik ga, want ik blijf hier in de buurt, dus ik ga eerst terug voor een half uur of zo en dan kom ik misschien later terug. Dus een taxi om ongeveer 7 uur zou goed zijn als ik terugkom.
Ja, 7 uur, dan ben je daar, 8 uur ben je daar.
Oké, en dat is genoeg tijd, denk je? Oké, dan kom ik misschien terug in een uur of zo.
Want als je daar gaat, dan is het vandaag ook druk.
Oké.
Als je eerder gaat, dan ben je ook vroeg naar binnen.
Oh, oké, ik snap het. Oké, dankjewel. Dankjewel, fijne dag, ja. Alright, as half of me was expecting, there's no bus to the ferry, so you have to take a taxi, is what the guy said. He said he would organise me one there later on. So I said I was just staying near here, so I'm going to try and contact my host, see if he can arrange a taxi. That means I can sort of stay in my apartment for another hour or so. And I'm recording this in the police station because it's a bit sketchy around here, so I presume I'm a bit more safe here. Yeah, so I could have spent 2 more hours in bed. This is where I'm waiting for my taxi to South Train to take the ferry to Guyana, and at the moment it's 7 o'clock, so I'm hoping he turns up soon as I don't want to miss the ferry.
Ik een importeur of distributeur uit Vergo Suriname NV. Adres: Industrieweg Zuid 16 Parij of telefoonnummer 481567.
I'm going just to Skeldon.
Oh, Skeldon, very good. Hold on, let me
Ga jij naar Georgetown? Jij gaat naar Georgetown ook?
I have a vehicle on the other side.
Oké. Kan ik misschien daarin naar Skeldon en uitstappen?
No. They take people from the ferry straight to Georgetown.
Oh, dus ik kan
You
niet...
take a next vehicle to Skeldon.
Oké, en zijn er vehicles daar?
Yes,
Ja?
yes.
Oké, dankjewel. so I'm here now. The time is 7:42. Dus het duurde ongeveer 40 minuten om hier te komen van het centrum van, waar was ik? Nickerie. So it took about 40 minutes from Nickerie to get here. And I think the port opens at 8 o'clock. I think it may be potentially a long process to check in. The taxi driver, or the minibus driver to the port, seemed very kind, and he allowed me to change some of my currency with him for Guyanese dollars. I think I changed 50 euros for 1,000 Guyanese dollars. I lost out a tiny bit, but it's better than nothing. In fact, it's a pretty decent rate. And he also said he can go back to Paramaribo for 30 euros. And as there's no bus on a Sunday, I'm going to be doing that, and that's a pretty decent price actually. So yeah, I've got his phone number, so that's worked out okay. He also said to get to Skeldon it costs 1,000 Guyanese dollars from Molson Creek, which is on the other side of the water, and I think it's about a 15-minute drive. So I was going to pay $10 to a hotel, but this will save me about £5 roughly. We'll see what happens on the other side if there actually is a taxi there. So here it is, the Cayenne I ferry service between Suriname and Guyana, and this is the minibus I took. He said it costs $20 to cross and $30 to return within 21 days. Otherwise it's $20 each way. There's lots of dead beetles here. Some are alive still. Also a return ticket here?
Yes.
Yeah.
The last day you could come with is 17th of January.
Perfect.
The last day.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, go through that already.
Yeah? Okay, so I've gone through all the immigration. I had to hand over my passport and get it back around probably an hour later in the end. They opened the doors just after 8, and I've just gone through security leaving Suriname, the immigration, at 9:20, and I think the ferry leaves at 10, and I can see it just there, and I think that's the entrance there, and that's the waiting area. Dus ik ben door de douane. Ik heb mijn retourticket en het is wel $30. Het duurt ongeveer 80 minuten door alles te komen. En ik moet nog ongeveer 40 minuten wachten voor de vertrek. Ik moest mijn paspoort ingeven. En dan, nou iedereen moest dat doen. En dan drukken ze de tickets af. Dan krijg je het terug als je door de douane gaat met de ticket. Alles ging oké tot nu, dus misschien wel op de andere kant in een ander land. I don't know which currencies you can pay in, but I do know for certain you can pay in Surinamese dollars and US dollars. Je kunt zeker met Surinaamse dollars en Amerikaanse dollars betalen. Het is heel heet hier, humid, in Nederlands humid, ik weet niet. Ze vragen als je ingaat, ze vragen voor je paspoort en je gele fever, je yellow fever. They ask for your passport and your yellow fever. And I'm still waiting here, so it's about 9:50 now. Het is 10 voor 10. En ik wacht hier nog. En het is helemaal druk hier. Helemaal vol. En ik verwacht de boot gewoon. And they've loaded the vehicles from this area. They load the vehicles first, and then they've closed these gates. I presume they're going to reopen them once all the vehicles are on board. Alle auto's en vrachtwagens gaan is staan, dan maken ze het dicht. En dan zometeen gaan ze het weer openmaken voor de mensen die met de voeten lopen. I'm now on the ferry, and they give you immigration forms for arriving in Guyana. You can just about see the river that I'm crossing. Now. That island is the Vassen Island, halfway between Guyana and Suriname. On the right hand side as you go towards Guyana. The Nuan, just arriving now. The total journey probably took around 40 minutes. So I've just exited the Mollison Creek terminal and I just asked if there was a taxi or a minibus to Skeldon, where I'm staying, and they pointed me into this minibus. I did ask if it was 1,000, so hopefully it is. If it isn't, just try saying I've only got 1,000.
You coming in there? Come on, we go and left the man, but you know, just carry the man.
I'm in Skeldon now. I've gone a bit further past where I was supposed to get out, because I'm not sure if there was going to be a stop, but basically I had to sort of shout out from the back of the bus to say, can you stop here please? It was 1,000, which is about £4. Ik ben nu in Skeldon en ik heb £4 betaald voor een kleine busrit ongeveer 20 minuten van de haven naar hier naartoe. En ik moest gewoon schreeuwen van de achterkant van de bus om het te stoppen, anders ging het gewoon helemaal door. Dus ik moest even een paar minuten teruglopen naar de hotel. I don't know why I'm talking Dutch anymore. I'm not in a Dutch-speaking country. I'm going to talk English now. I'm going to talk like this now. I talk with an accent, I can't understand what they're saying. But there's a nice monument or a got off behind me. This one here. And it looks reasonably pleasant here, and luckily it's not sunny at the moment, because I really was sweating during the crossing. I'm just walking to a hotel, but this is a glimpse of the market by the river, which I'm hoping to go into in a minute. Okay, so I went in the hotel and asked the cheapest price. He said 1,500. I knew on their website there was a room for 15,000. And I knew on their website there was a room for 12,000, but it turns out this is a sister hotel or something like that, so I've got to walk around 5-10 minutes to its brother or its sister and see if I can get in there. So I'm now at the hotel that I'd sort of half planned to go to. I was hoping it'd be 12,000. I was actually hoping to get it for less, but 12,000 is a maximum, because I only have 14,000 Guyanese dollars, and it costs me 1,000 to get here and 1,000 to get back to the ferry. So I've only got 12,000 to spend. So on the website of where I'm staying, it said 12,000 Guyanese dollars for one night for the smallest room. When I arrived, I said, how much is the cheapest room? And the woman behind the bar said 30,000. Then I said, oh, but on your website it says 12,000. And then she said, I'll speak to him. And then she pointed at this guy just sort of sat there eating something. So I went and spoke to him, and I showed him a screenshot of their website, which apparently is out of date, of the £12,000 room. And he said, yeah, just do 12,000. So I managed to pay 12,000. So I've saved, if you can call it a saving. It would have, 30,000 is around 150 euros, and 12,000 is around 60 euros, so about 90 euros saving. And I haven't even got a small room. I've got 2 king-size beds, I think, maybe queen, a bathroom, a microwave, a fridge, a TV, decent views as well. You can't really see. A little update, my hotel room, there was someone just banging on my door, and I got asked to move room, so it turns out I got put in the wrong room. I got put in a 15,000 room, not the, well, I think I'm in a 13,000 room now, not even a 12 still. So I said to the guy that the woman at reception just told me to go in the room on the left with the key in, which is what I did. Then he said, she's stupid. So that explains that, if he's correct. So I said, give me 15 minutes and I'll move. So yeah, I'll leave a bad review about this place. And apparently a family is going to go in the room that I was just in. He asked me if I'd been on the beds. I said, yeah, I've been on both of them. I haven't used the sheets, because I had my stuff like lying around everywhere. I've moved now, so it's still a pretty decent sized room. This one doesn't have a bath though. When I was at the Surinamese border, they did say I could pay the entry fee with cash. However, on the Surinamese website, it says you have to purchase the entry fee before arrival and also have it printed out. So, to avoid any potential complications, I decided to purchase the entry fee, which was $58 US. I only purchased it after finding somewhere that said they could print it off, because my hotel said they couldn't, and the reason I didn't purchase it previously is because I didn't know whether I was going to be here longer than a day or whether I would make it here because of the bus cancellation, etc, etc. So I'm now waiting in this hotel, which is just a minute's walk from where I'm staying in Skeldon, and I can see a printer on the reception desk. That white thing. But apparently there's only one person who either knows or has access to use the printer. I think knows. And she's working behind the bar at the moment in the restaurant and serving customers. So I've been sat here on and off because I've gone back to my hotel and forth 3 times. I've been sat here at least 2 hours. So hopefully when it quietens down in the restaurant, I will be able to get my visa printed off. Behind here, 2 big tables have turned up since I last left and came back, so I'll have to pitch up for the night, I think, by the looks of things. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a happy new year. All the best. Thank you. Take care. Good evening. Well, what a very kind woman. Very busy at this time of the year, serving in the restaurant. I did just see it looks like a colleague that came out to sort of help. I've got it. So let's hope the ferry actually comes tomorrow now. Let's hope my taxi comes in the morning. Yeah, and I'm gonna get some sleep. Alright, so today I'm heading back to Paramaribo, Suriname, and getting the ferry from Mawson Creek to South Train. At the moment I'm waiting for my minibus, which should cost 1,000 Guyanese dollars, which is around £4. So hopefully he stops. I got his contact yesterday after he dropped me off in this area. He gave me a card, and I called him on WhatsApp yesterday, and he said he would give me a call just before he's arriving here, but had nothing yet, so I'll find out. If you're interested in what Skeldon has to offer, well, I'm planning to upload that in a separate video of the things that I saw when I sort of walked around Skeldon for the day. Thank you very much. So I'm now at Mawson Creek, Guyana, hoping to get in through this entrance to cross over. I was just in the queue to get through security, tickets and immigration out of Guyana into Paramaribo, and I've gone through now. Probably took at least an hour and a half overall. It was a really long queue. I was starting to think whether there'd be enough space on the ferry. There's at least 200 people plus maybe 50 vehicles. But I'm through now. I would advise printing off the Surinamese entry fee because I'm not sure what would happen if you didn't do that. I have a feeling it would be a bit more complicated. And also here, when I was queuing up for the last bit for the immigration to get stamped out, some guy, I think he was Guyanese because he spoke that kind of English, he said, "You've got a YouTube, haven't you?" And I said, "Yeah, but you probably wouldn't know it." He said, yeah, no, I think I've seen it. I said, "I really doubt it. I've got 20 subscribers and we're in rural Guyana, so I doubt you've seen it. I think the most of my subscribers are from my family." And he said, show me. So I got it up on my phone, and he looked at it and he said, yeah, I watch your YouTube videos. And he said, yeah, I watch those. So I've met my first YouTube follower that I don't actually know personally. This is the docking area for the Cayenne I ferry in Guyana. I'm still waiting here. It's been waiting here. I arrived around 7:30, 7:45, and it's about 10 to 10 now. I would advise arriving at the terminal no later than 8:30. I'm not sure what the actual cut-off time is, but to me, if you arrive after 8:30, then your chances of getting in are much more slim. It's now 10:30, so I've been here around 3 hours now. I think we're going to load in a minute. Right, so it's 11 o'clock local time. My legs are hurting from standing in the queue for so long, so expect to wait around at least 4 hours. And then I've got to go through immigration on the other side as well, so it does take a bit longer than I expected for such a short ferry crossing. But we're going on now, and I'll see you on the other side. I think we sail around that cove and then left in towards Suriname. Now on the ferry, and this is what it looks like. Going in that direction. This is Mawson Creek behind me. We're now leaving. Okay, so in about 3 to 5 minutes we're going to be arriving here in South Drain in Suriname. Total journey again, probably took around an hour. It's going to be probably long queues at the immigration on the other side, and then I'm going to be hopefully getting the minibus for 25 euros all the way to Paramaribo, and considering I paid around 40 euros to get from the airport to Paramaribo, which is about a fifth of the distance, I'm very happy with that. There's no buses running on a Sunday, and I don't think the ferry runs on Sundays either. However, because it's in the holiday period, I believe they put on extra ferries on Sundays. I'm not sure what the significance of our water bottle is. You got subscribed, man?
Yeah. I'm always worried.
And you know what he saw there? You don't believe me. I was standing on a veranda there from my hotel. Old George Bush.
Really?
He was there with his family.
No, wow.
I took a photograph of him. Old George Bush.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
When was that?
That was 1984.
Yeah, wow. I've now been through immigration, and rather than a minibus I'm in a small car this time going to Paramaribo, but I got put in the car by the guy who I knew before, so I'm reasonably confident it's going to the right place. We're now leaving South Drain, Suriname, and heading to Paramaribo. We've stopped over just for a break around 2.5 hours from Paramaribo, and I've bought some sardines in a can / tin, and I got quite a lot, 425 grams I think, for about £1, around 50 Surinamese dollars, so I'm pretty happy with that because I know the shops will be closed when I get back later on a Sunday.
Is goed toch?
Ja.
Is goed toch?
Ja.
Oké.
Bedankt, ja. Fijne avond en gelukkig nieuwjaar ook. And that's it, time now back in Paramaribo. So that sums up how to get from Paramaribo to Guyana and back to Paramaribo. And in a few days I'm going to be heading towards the third Guyana, or the first Guyana, depending which way you look at it, which is French Guiana. So hopefully that goes alright as well. Alright, so today is the day before I go to Albina, or French Guiana. Albina's the small town on the border in Suriname, just by Saint-Laurent de Maroni. And I'm just going to walk to the bus station here in Paramaribo to ask about the bus tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon and see if I have to book a ticket, etc, etc. Just to get a bit more information before I head there tomorrow, as it's a bit sketchy here, the bus times. Hallo. Als ik morgenochtend naar Albina wil, moet ik dat van tevoren boeken?
Nee, dat gaat vertrek. Morgen.
Morgen? Hoe laat, sorry?
Hier is open vanaf 5 uur morgen.
Oh, 5 uur. Dus ik moet hier 5 uur komen en een ticket kopen.
Een nummer nemen, zoiets.
Een nummer nemen, ja.
Zo'n nummer.
Oké, en hoe laat vertrekt de bus? 7 uur?
We hebben bussen van 6 uur,
Ja.
8 uur,
Ja.
10 uur.
Oké, en dus als ik de ticket heb, dan kan ik op één van die... Als ik de ticket heb, dan kan ik van één van alle die bussen nemen. Of moet ik op een precieze bus, één van die 3?
Als je van... Ik kom de nummer halen, als je van 8 uur wil weggaan,
Ja,
dan
dat...
krijg je het nummer van 8 uur.
Oké, ik snap
Wil je
het.
om 10 uur weggaan, dan krijg je het nummer van 8 uur.
Oké, dus ik kan bijvoorbeeld een ticket halen voor 8 uur en dan weggaan en dan terugkomen voor 8 uur. Ja,
Maar voor 7:30 moet je hier zijn. Want dan ga je
ja, 7:30. Oké. En de tijden voor morgen nog? Dat was 8, 10, 6, 18. Hartstikke bedankt en een fijne dag toch. Dankjewel. Oh, sorry, mag ik nog één keer vragen? Hoeveel kost dat naar Albina? Hoeveel? Voor 100. Dankjewel, fijne dag. Alright, so you can see the bus station behind me. That answers most of my questions, I think. I forgot to ask how much it was, so I went back and asked at the end. It's 100 SRD, which is around £2.20-ish. So I come here at 5 o'clock in the morning, which will be interesting, to pick up a ticket and state which bus I'm going to take. Then I come back at half an hour before that bus is due to leave, and I presume I just show the ticket to get on the bus to Albina. I think the journey takes around 2.5 hours. So tomorrow morning should be my next video to see how that goes at 5 o'clock. Should be interesting walking around here at 5 o'clock. Okay, so the time now is 4:45 AM in Paramaribo. I've just left my accommodation and I'm walking to the bus stop. And at the moment is the quietest it's ever been since I've been here. Wanneer is de eerste naar Albina? 6 uur? Geen om 6 uur? Oh, oké, dan 1 voor 8 uur dan. Half 8, ja. En is geen eerder, nee? Geen eerder dan 8 uur. Nee. Oké, dank u wel. Okay, so the reason it's now light is because that last video, I went back to my accommodation after that for around an hour, as they basically said there was no bus at 6 o'clock, contrary to what the woman said yesterday. So the first one, and I did ask to double check, said 8 o'clock, and also on my ticket it said 8 o'clock. So I had about an hour or two to spare. It's just gone 7. They advised to be there half an hour before, so I'm going to go there. I'll probably arrive around 7:20 and see if I can find the bus again. Maybe I've got to listen out for someone shouting Albina. Weet u waar ik moet staan voor de bus naar Albina? Ik heb een ticket al, maar ik weet niet waar ik moet staan. 8 uur heb ik een ticket voor. Voor Albina.
8 uur.
Ja.
Ja, je kan hier moeten wachten.
Gewoon hier wachten?
Ja, je wordt naar de bus geroepen.
Oh, oké. Dank u wel.
Hier in Oudkiepen blijven.
Fantastisch, dank u wel. So I just thought I would double check out the process of getting on the bus again, and he said if I just wait in here I will be called to the bus.
19.
Ja, ik ben 9. Dat is 9.
Nummer 9.
Ja, dank u wel.
Wanneer jij moet je ook onder die stoel plaatsen, ja?
Onder de stoel. Ja, ja, ik doe het ook op mijn schoot, hè. Ja, ja. Van de uitstand, en dat is gewoon daar, toch?
Ja.
Ja, dank u wel. Fijne dag nog. So I'm now in Albina, and as I arrived there were lots of sort of young and oldish men offering me a crossing over the river, but as I had to stamp out first, it's about a 5-10 minute walk back, sort of in the direction where the bus comes into Albina, along the seafront to get my stamp out of Suriname, and that's where the actual sort of large ferry crossing is for vehicles, so I'm going to do that now. And at the bus station in Paramaribo they did call out Albina, and I paid 150 Surinamese dollars for the 2.5 hour journey. En moet ik hier oversteken of die kleine bootjes?
Wat u wil.
Oké.
Maar je moet zich aanmelden bij de douane en immigratie staan.
So I'm through immigration now, and I'm at this is the main ferry terminal, which, like I said earlier, is about a 10 minute walk away from where the sort of smallish canoes depart from, and someone here I think has a canoe, and he just approached me and offered to take me across, and I double checked the price with him. He said €5 as well, so it's the same price as if I go with him here as if I was to walk 10 minutes with all my stuff back towards the centre of Albina. He said he's going to wait for a few more people to join, so hopefully soon we'll be crossing. And it looks like we're going now. So I'm now on the boat, and this is where the ferry arrives for the vehicles to cross, and I'm just to the side on a little canoe. I think the crossing takes about 10-15 minutes, so hopefully I will see you on the other side. I don't think there's any life jackets, although there is a bag at the front of the boat, so luckily it's good weather today, even though the forecast said storm. So today I'm going on this little boat behind me, and I'm paying €5 to go from South America to Europe. Merci bien. I've completed the crossing, and now I'm just going to look for the immigration place. I presume it's this building that's directly behind me. Now, maybe it's it, I'm not sure if it's always the case, but if you were to get a small canoe like I did from the place where the big ferry with the vehicles leaves, it will take you straight to the immigration building, whereas the other small canoes from the centre of Albina, they'll take you to a sort of beach area on the right of the immigration building. Unless you were to ask them to take you directly here, but the likelihood is they'll have other passengers who want to get up in the centre in Saint-Laurent-du-Maroni. So that's something worth bearing in mind. Bonjour. Merci bien. Simple as that. None of this entry fee nonsense like Suriname. Now I've got to find a way to get to Cayenne. Don't have anything planned, so I'm just going to walk around and I might have to ask a few people. Il y a un bus pour Cayenne ici.
C'est pas ici.
Ok.
C'est la gare routière.
Ok, c'est peut-être 20 minutes. Pied.
C'est 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Ok. That way.
C'est 15 minutes, c'est gare routière, c'est tout au bout de la ville.
Ok.
C'est là-bas. Là, c'est juste entre nous.
Ok, merci bien. D'accord. So apparently there is a bus station or a collective taxi station around a 15-20 minute walk away down this road. It's very hot here. I'm considering sticking my thumb out. It seems pretty safe. But if I don't, then it's not as long as I walked in Aruba, so it should be alright. So I arrived at the Gare Routière, the bus station, after a 15-minute walk, and I found this bus. It says Cayenne on it and a few other places. So I think I need to find whoever is driving it. The doors aren't open yet to see if it actually is going to Cayenne. Excusez-moi, cette bus pour Cayenne. Cayenne. Combien? 25. 25, ok. Merci bien. Okay, some good news. Très bon. This is the bus to Cayenne. And it was 25 euros, which is what I was expecting. I was hoping for cheaper, but I was also anticipating up to 40 euros, so it's worked out okay. My luggage is situated at the rear left, so that's a big weight off my shoulders, which I was sceptical about giving, because I never really know if they have changed, then they might just take the 50. It looks like people are boarding now and it's just gone 12. Maybe we'll leave earlier than 1. We'll see. Pardon? C'est ok? Hein? Merci bien.
C'était avant. Hein? Ah, ok.
So I'm on the bus. It's actually taken a little longer than expected. I think there's around 1 hour 45 minutes to go. Just stopped over for our first break, and like I say, still around 1 hour and 45 minutes to go. It's actually been a very pleasant journey in terms of the roads and the scenery, lots of forestry and greenery, and the roads, I don't even think I've noticed a pothole. A couple of interesting bridges we've squeezed through, and luckily the woman next to me on the bus saved me a space at the front so I get a nice view, and she's very kind as well. She's on her way to school apparently in Cayenne, the same place as me, so that's good. Bonne chance pour l'avenir. Merci bien.
Eh bien, patientez-vous. Patientez. Vous allez tomber ici, la bus.
Au revoir. And I'm now at the Gare Routière, the bus station in Cayenne, and it's right in the centre, so it's quite handy. Around 3 hours later. D'accord, okay, c'est fini, that's finished. I have crossed the 3 Guianas. I did actually cross them earlier when I came into Saint-Laurent-du-Maroni, but I didn't really consider it done until I arrived in Cayenne, my next destination. I think a lot of things fell my way during this time. I look a bit of a mess, to be honest. A lot of things fell my way. the connections, the buses, the cancellations, the boats arriving, the buses leaving, and a little tip for the bus from Saint-Laurent de Maroni to Cayenne. I arrived around 12. I think half the bus, if not more, had already been booked. We left around 10 to 1. 1 o'clock was the official leaving time, but there were lots of people arriving after 12:30 who just about got a space. But if you arrived probably 12:40 onwards, then they were struggling for spaces, so especially with groups of children. So I'd advise arriving around 12 for the 1 o'clock departure, if the 1 o'clock departure is actually the consistent departure time there. But the only thing now is I need to cross in a few days from French Guiana to Brazil, which I'll be going to Saint George, then to Oiapoque, and then to Macapá. And I think I'm going to do that in a separate video, as I'll be then leaving Europe actually to go to Brazil.